Welcome, Rough State Athletics. We are talking about different styles of cardio today. So there are different forms that we can do, different demands that we are looking at. So the two major concepts that are differently torn are low intensity, steady state aerobic work. Low intensity is great. And then high intensity work. Intense! So differently, these two are very drastic, the different ends of the spectrum as far as ways that you can challenge your body. With the low intensity methods, we have individuals who commonly train very low at a steady pace for a long period of time with different demands put on the body. This can put a eccentric hypertrophy stress on the heart, very great for improving cardiac output over a long-term period. Whereas we have the high intensity method, which is very much more in the glycogen demanding systems. And so depending upon what your intended purpose is, if your whole purpose with cardio demands is just to challenge your body to burn calories for weight loss, then you can use either method, and you just have to consider your time domain that you have. When you look at the low intensity version, we're going to be challenging the body to burn off more fat primarily, but it's going to be taking a very long period of time to burn off the same number of calories. If we look at the high intensity choice, it's going to take a shorter amount of time to burn potentially the same amount of calories, but it's going to be coming from more of a glycogen demanding system. So when we look at the low intensity, it might take 30 minutes to burn off 300 calories, whereas you might be able to do that with high intensity work in a shorter period of time, such as like 10 to 15 minutes, maybe even less, depending on how hard you go. But when you consider this, you have to look at the stress that it puts onto your body. So when we're looking at the high intensity method, it's going to take a big stress and a big toll on your body, whereas the low intensity method won't do that. So consider what you are looking for, decide which way you want to go about the path and how you want to burn those calories, if that is your purpose. If not, then choose wisely as to why you're doing that method. So I just wanted to give a quick summary about some of the stuff that was discussed in the video that wasn't quite explained as well. And that is, so while the high intensity does take less time, it does put a whole lot more stress on the body, there are different ways you can do it, but no matter what, all of the high intensity versions of the cardio demands will put a lot of stress on the body. In contrast, that low intensity is definitely going to be a lot more time demanding, but it will not be as stressful on the body. It especially can actually be utilized in a lot of different ways for recovery. It can be used to improve movement capacity and proficiency. You can utilize mobility circuits to improve aerobic capacity. Those are a really great option, as well as just by generally doing more aerobic work can improve a lot of physiological qualities that are very undervalued, and that can just be beneficial for recovery, improving how well you can work through your work. So if you're on a time crunch, go with high intensity cardio. That's the simple fact. Burn some calories that way. But if you're looking for improving all these other kind of demands, low intensity can be incredibly beneficial, especially if you have the time for it. So that's the summary.